Hey everyone, this is just an intro video for personal finance class. You may have already seen the small business one if you're in that class as well. It'll be similar for this one. I'm just gonna kind of give you a heads up as to what's going on since we haven't had class for this class since I think Thursday, March 12th would be. So it's already been like 3 weeks or so. I'm just gonna share the screen with you here. I'm gonna go over this completion guideline that I've made. That'll also be up on Moodle. So this is your course completion guideline for PFIN. So the mark breakdown for this class: assignments 40%, personal financial assessments 5%, midterm 25%, and final exam 30%. So that hasn't changed. That's been the same before we had this whole pandemic thing. As far as assignments go and personal financial assessments, chapters 1 to 6 were provided in class. So those should all be done and handed in by now. I believe with chapter 6, that was given to before, but for the most part hasn't been submitted back to me from students. Some have submitted it, but not all. So that would be one that you want to get back as soon as possible. And then chapters 8 to 15, those assignments were included in the homework packages, not in regular classes. And then there was only 2 personal financial assessments that were given out. I'm not going to continue doing those just because of the nature of the class right now. So these are the mark breakdowns I've made for assignments, where the ones we did in class, I'm going to make them worth more. So 4% each for those 6. And then the other ones that were just in your homework packages, those are only worth 2%. So if you add that all up in total, that's going to equal 40%, and then 5% for these personal financial assessments. With these chapter assignments, you can submit them whenever you want. I'm not going to make strict deadlines for when they're due, besides the final due date. So everything should be available on Moodle. All these assignments should be posted, as well as the midterm and the final, and you should have got that in your homework packages if you received a physical copy. So due dates, everything is going to be due on Monday, May 18th, except for the final exam. So all assignments and personal financial assessments should be handed in by that date, preferably earlier. Don't leave it all to the last day. And the midterm as well, which you had just as a take-home midterm. So the final exam is going to be due Friday, May 29th. I would say for the midterm, that should be something that should be done. If you haven't done it already, do it right away, because that's content that we've covered already in class. So get it done while it's more fresh in your mind, and then move on to these chapter assignments here, which is going to mostly be like self-study stuff. You're going to have to just rely on your textbook a lot more because we're not going to have regular classes. And yeah, so you're just gonna have to rely a little more on your textbooks. I know that Carol and Wanda are doing like Zoom classes. I'm not gonna bother doing that, as I said in the small business class video, but I'll repeat it. I feel like it's gonna be difficult for all the students to be able to tune in at like the exact same time for like a 1-hour class or whatever, especially if Carol and Wanda are doing it as well. I know that a lot of you have kids at home, and just life is kind of complicated right now. So I would rather just make short chapter summary videos and post them, and then you guys can watch whenever you have free time. And I'll try and keep them really short. I'll kind of just summarize the important points and just give a little bit of my input on each chapter. And then I'm planning to post those videos on YouTube, and I'll post the links in Moodle, so you can find them there for each chapter, just under each like category for the chapters. So hopefully that'll be useful to you guys. You can submit assignments either on Moodle or through email. I probably just prefer email. And then any questions you have can just be sent to me by email or whatever else. Like, I don't mind doing, if a couple students have questions and you want to have a Zoom call together, we can, or whatever. I'm flexible. Just maybe initiate with email and we can figure it out from there. Yeah, I don't think I really have much else to say for PFIN class, but I'm going to start making those chapter summary videos, I guess Monday, Tuesday, start posting them early next week, which would be what, like April 6th, 7th, 8th. Those should start to be going up. And yeah, I think that's it. So Thanks for watching, and just send me an email if you have any questions about PFIN class.